I apologize now if this video isn't the cleanest. It probably won't be very edited, as I want to give this audio uh, raw. And this video won't be monetized. I won't be monetizing it. Although if you do see ads, that's probably just because YouTube puts ads on videos regardless. But I won't be monetizing this video. But for those of you that aren't aware, Kentaro Miura passed. Now, first of all, I want to start off by saying major respects to the publishing company that waited to tell, us and make this public, giving the proper time to his family and his close ones to deal with the news. Major respect and kudos to the magazine for doing that, and my condolences to Kentaro Miura's family and for those who knew him personally. I think that's the most important thing. And, I've seen some people get mad at people who are joking about it and all that stuff. And, the reality of it is it's all fun and games when it's somebody you don't know. I think this Miura situation is a lot like the Kobe one, where it's somebody you never really knew, and so you never really thought of them as human. The idea of death just doesn't feel befitting to them. And it's incredible to see how one person is really capable of making a story that is able to change so many people's lives and influence and inspire so many people. I know over Twitter, I believe it's the director of the Castlevania anime tweeted out about this, and even the Soul series is heavily inspired by Berserk. So just off of that alone, you could definitely see the impact Miura's had on just few examples. Many other mangakas have been inspired by him as well. But, man, I don't even know what to say. This just feels... It really feels like someone just hit you in the side of the head with a brick. And for me, personally, this is just... I told the story in a video I did a year ago, that my channel, at that point, I had already discussed a lot about Berserk. And I had done a video, it's deleted now, 1 year as a Berserk fan. And I told the story in that video, but I'll tell it again here. When I got into Berserk, I had just graduated high school. I had just gone through a really, really difficult relationship. And I was angry, I was hurt, and honestly, in the trend I was at, I was not heading the best direction in my life. I was very reckless, and I was in this attitude that I didn't really care what happened to me. And picking up Berserk and reading it, I encountered a character who was in the similar phase I was in. One that was going through, I guess, a rebellious stage, if you will. But seeing a character try it and realize that's not the right way to go about it and change his course, constantly having that anger and motivation to push him, but using it in as much of a right way as possible. It was just such a story that inspired me and touched me deeply, that it influenced a lot how I went about my own personal life in terms of motivation, ambition, desire, and I'll always be forever grateful in that aspect. It's a story that I go back to and analyze all the time, and I still learn from. And for me, that's just the personal connection that I have with it. But then there's the undeniable reality that I would not be here. And I think a lot of other YouTubers can speak to this as well. They would not be here if it wasn't for Berserk. My biggest video at the time was a Berserk Explained video I did. And of course, that has only opened up to all the opportunities I have, but also all the amazing people that I've met. There have been so many amazing people that I've had the pleasure of meeting and getting to know because of Miura's story, because of Miura. And I'm telling you all this because it's just crazy to think how one person can really influence so many other people. But that's the reality. When you push onwards and dedicate your life to something you want to do, you'll impact a lot more people than I think you realize. And I spoke to a few homies. I spoke to Real Life Ryan, and for me, this is just so shocking, and I've only been a fan of the series for 2 going on 3 years. I can only imagine how it is for the fans that have been around for almost a decade or 2 decades. So, again, my condolences to everybody in the anime community, the Berserk fan base as well. And massive thank you to all the people who were so respectful about this, giving thanks and respects, and I think the real message is, struggle onwards. Even though this is something that may have caught me and a lot of people off guard and may have devastated a lot of people, I think the real message that Miura would tell us is the same one he did in the manga, and that's struggle onwards. Never allow the bad things that happen to you in life define you and become excuses for your bad conduct or bad behavior, because in the end that only punishes yourself. And it's, man, wow. I think it's just incredible to think of not only the inspirations, but just how Miura was so focused on his story, and how I think that honestly is just a reflection of how much of a hardworking and precise person he was in real life. I was told a story that the author of Holy Land is very close friends with Miura, and in fact the protagonist of Holy Land was inspired or taken inspiration from Miura as a person. And that kind of zone of honing in on what needs to be done and getting it done is an incredible attribute to see within a human being. Personally, as to how I feel now regarding the story of Berserk, like I don't care. Like I don't care anymore. Of course I care about the story, but I don't care anymore about the ending. Whether or not he told assistants, didn't tell, like, to me right now that doesn't mean anything. Like, if Berserk never ends, so be it. Like, so be it. I've always said that even if it never ended, Berserk will always be remembered and held into high regards as an amazing work of art and a masterpiece, written by only a person of immense talent and ability and dedication, which is who Miura was. One of my biggest dreams was to hopefully one day interview him, as he's a difficult person to interview. But obviously that won't be happening. And I'm sorry I'm all over the place. It's just I don't even know how you go about a topic like this, I think the craziest thing about Berserk, in a way, about what Miura shows in Berserk, is the complexities of it all. And I think the reason why this feels so devastating and so odd is, like I said earlier, it feels like we're talking about a person who shouldn't be able to die. But I think in Berserk, there's just so many things that seem to be personal reflections of who Miura is. Obviously, it's his story. It comes from his mind. But to just think about a story like that teaches so many lessons, that's inspired so many, that's had such a profound impact on people's lives, to think that the person behind that is human, is mortal, is a hard concept to, wrap around. Wrap your mind around, right? It's just hard to imagine, like, what one's life would be if it wasn't for this story. And to think that a story is able to impact that much is just, it's just incredible. There's just so much that could be said, but I don't know exactly how I want to say it and in which order I want to say it. And this is difficult because this is one of the few times in my life where I can't think of what to say on the spot. It just doesn't feel real in a way. But the reality of it is life and death is a thing. Death is a thing. Death is something that Miura talks about a lot in Berserk, and how to deal with it and overcome it and become stronger. And like I said earlier in this video, I definitely think that's the message Miura would probably have told his family, his close ones, and all of us as Berserk fans, is to move onwards, struggle onwards. So just so I don't extend this too long, I think I got plenty out. I want to once again thank everyone who's respectful about this. I want to thank all the amazing people that I've met through the story of Berserk. I want to thank all the amazing people that have ever watched a video of mine and have gone into Berserk. And I want to thank Kentaro Miura for changing my life and so many others, and for providing me a story that I will hold on to for the rest of my life.